Testing, testing, 1, 2, and 1 and 2. What we got here? Boom. Good morning, good morning. Get this little thumbnail put in here and I'll be ready to go. There we go. All right, so let's see what we got this morning. Let's make sure we're on the right screen here. Okay, so we'll jump over to the scanners first. And what I was seeing today was UCAR. It's top mover up 72%. They have a little bit of Chinese news there. This was another weekend of back testing. I went back and especially after Friday, I just felt I felt like I broke a lot of, not really broke a lot of rules, but I got split tunnel vision, I guess you can say. And kind of found myself trying to trade two things at the same time and wasn't truly focused on either one. I definitely missed some profit, but at least I didn't end the day super red, All right, so let me brighten this up. And what else do I need? UCAR. Let's go ahead and look at UCAR. All right, so UCAR out here, we saw it pop from $5 all the way to 10, and now it's trading in the middle of this area. I got the value levels for this. The high is 824, the low is 717. It's kind of just going sideways. It had a little bit more movement a little bit earlier, but looks like it's kind of trying to make or having some thinking time and consolidation before the open. Still up 68%, so it is one of the top movers on today. The other thing that I saw that was up was AIRC, and that is a higher float. It's a dividend stock, but it's higher float. Probably not gonna be trading that. And then we'll be looking at what populates after the open. A lot of the back testing that I did this weekend was I wanted to be able to find this specific pattern in in greater frequency. So sometimes I see this pattern like once or twice or whatnot. But sometimes I avoid stocks that the pattern actually works on. And I'm like, man, I missed that one. Why did I miss that one? So I went back and did some adjustments to kind of alleviate that. Now, yes, the pattern does work under $5 as well. The ATR high break and hold. The only thing is the snapbacks, because they have those lower ATRs, like they may have a 20-cent ATR. So you may have to take, a 3-cent winner. But the way that I've been using the ATR is, let's say if it's a 50-cent ATR, what I do is I'm looking to, where'd that thing go? 50-cent ATR. I'm looking to use this ATR as my stop loss, right? So I want to take first 25% of that ATR. So this will be my first stop loss after I can get the break even. So 12 cents after I get the break even. So let's say if it said what? $7 pops up here. I don't know. I get in at 712 will be my first stop. And then I'll just continue to add. I'll just say, okay, well, plus 712 plus that 12. And I just move oh my goodness, I put that in wrong. But anyway, you get the idea. I actually put in $12 instead of 712 plus 12 cents. 712 plus 12 cents. 724. And I would just keep moving like that during with the ATR. That's kind of how I move my stop losses. But I do like it to kind of hold above that next level. Like if it's 724, I want to see it test it, get through it. Then I'll move my stop up. And the bigger the ATR, the bigger payout I'm looking for. So let's say if it is $1, I don't know, $1.40 ATR. I'll multiply that by 25. My first stop goes in 35 cents into the well, after I get the break even, 35 cents into the profit. And then I just continue to add like that. So it's been working pretty good though. I back tested it this weekend. Even on the ones that are cheaper, even on the ones that are like 20 cents or something, ATR, or yeah, 20 cents, I think. They're like 20 cents, and then you multiply this by or multiply this by 25. So you'll be moving every 5 cents. The reason this is good is because if they do snap back, you still have something in pocket to get back in. You know what I mean? You're not just left in the breeze. But yeah, I definitely, the lower the ATR, the lower the expectation. Even if it has a catalyst, really. That's what I was seeing during my back test. And even if they have a catalyst, they got to open up before that thing actually rips. Kind of like what we saw with CDAL or whatnot last week. This is the one. Well, I actually traded two of them. CDAL in that GCTS, and CDAL. I think those, or maybe it was CLDA. Nope, not that either. CLAD. One of these is gonna work. That's not it either. Oh man. Let me pull up my let's see, where is my journal? So these are the trades from last week. CADL. So I actually ended up taking 500 shares on both of the stocks, and I really should have just focused in on what I could calculate. GCTS was missing variables, but I did go green, pretty green. I have what, 400 something dollars on this one, and I was like, I'm gonna let it run, but I'm gonna show y'all on the charts why I shouldn't have done that. And then CADL missed some profit on that one, made a lot with a little share size. So I was like, okay, well, we'll just work on that. But it's CADL. Let me put that in over here. Good morning, Lori Lee. Okay, CADL. All right, so first we'll go to the first trade that got me kind of into a bad space. First trade here, I actually took this trade, and I'll show you the reason why I took this trade. So on the 15 minute here, I saw this thing crush down. Now I had these price levels that I was watching from back here on this day right here. When it came down, it showed buying around these levels, and I had marked these price levels out, right? But I was below the ATR low. It crushed down here, and I saw this thing do this 3 pattern or 3 candlestick. These are 15-minute candlestick, and it would not shove down through this 780 level. So it came down, failed, came down, failed to drop, came down, and still failed to drop. So I entered. Let me see what my entry price was down here. I entered at 8. No. Yeah, that's right. 853. So I saw this thing come up, and I got in right here on this little indecision, 853, and it went up. And usually, I don't know why I was thinking, oh man, this thing could just rip back over this ATR low and just go higher. That's not how it works. It's under the ATR low, so I'm fighting a downtrend already, right? And so I was just holding, and I was up here around like 400 bucks, around this 960, and I was looking for it to recover back into the ATR range, and it could not do it, and it started dumping on me. Now I didn't let this thing go red on me. I still had my stop. I was moving my stop the way that I usually do with the ATR, and so I ended up stopping out with around 150 bucks in pocket. And I got a 29 cent per share gain on that one. But this, I really just should have focused on CALD. But still, it was green. I don't know. It was a winning trade. I just did not take the profit, right? And then on the other one, CADL, let's go over there to that one. CADL. Um, so this one was the one I really should have focused on. This one gave me the pattern that makes me the most money, which is the ATR break and hold. I actually got in twice on this one and got scared. Well, not really scared. I got my focus was everywhere on this one. So I was looking back at the other one, GCTS, at the profits over there, and I was like, well, maybe GCTS is going to be the one. So I just tightened up the stop over here. I actually, my first entry on this one was in here at 724, I believe. So first entry right here was 724. Yeah. CADL 724 right there. And I really had a good entry, but it didn't do the move yet. And I should have really waited for it to do the move for confirmation. And that kind of shook my confidence there. So I actually got stopped out on this candle here. I got in up here, 724. It stopped me out and then it started going up. And so I was like, okay, I'm not going to miss this whole move. I only had a little bit of capital left. So I got in when it started to do the move. It came up here to the ATR high, closed the candle right at it. And I got in here 75 shares and rode this thing up 200, or not 200. I wrote this thing up for $2 per share or something. I should have waited for the move. I traded within consolidation, which was a mistake on my part. I was kind of like excited because I had seen CADL and I was like, okay, this thing has finally ripped over $5 in the previous day. Took all day ripping up the 5, getting over here, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, now prop traders are going to be interested in this, right? And so it's good to know who's trading with real money, right? They're not trading down there on the cheaper stocks. They're trading up here. Something that cracks 5 like this, I was like super excited. I was like, okay, this is the one. But I was also, my focus was on GCTS as well. Shouldn't have been. But yeah, I had 500 shares in here. Got stopped out of that 500 shares. Would have been a pretty nice trade up there, but had to wait for that confirmation. Now the confirmation did come at a higher price. I was in at 724, and this thing went up here to 777. I think was my next entry. 772, and then rode it up to 980 after the confirmation. So, and I use the same thing with the ATR thing, 25%, blah, blah, blah. And just, I took most of my profit at, average exit was 980. Cause I was thinking my first target when it broke 7, I was like, I think it can get through 8. I want to look for 9. And Donnell was like, I think it can get to 10. I was like, I don't know. So it got up here to like $9, and I was like, well, it's looking pretty strong around 9. And so I still have my 75 shares. It was a small share size, so I was like, I might let it see what it can do. So it started pumping up here to 980, close to 10. I started taking profit close to 10 because I didn't know if 10 was going to be like a super resistance. So I took the majority of my profit right around 10, like 980 to 10, and it did pop a little bit higher up here to the 1140s, and then you see this dump straight back through 10. This is what I was scared of happening at 10. And so, yeah, big dump. It wasn't really a whole lot of warning on this 15 minute, probably some warning on the lower time frames. But I was looking at, okay, this top here is at 1087. 1087. And I was like, I just don't want to risk this big dump. I knew it was probably coming. So I just jumped out of the way of the freight train and took the profit that I had because my idea was just to get back green on a day. I was down like 2 something, and those two trades brought me back. But still, this would have been a whole lot more beautiful to get 500 shares on this break. Get that on the break from 7 all the way up to 10. Well, I still probably would have sold at the same place because of how I moved my stops. But yeah, definitely a beautiful move. Just got to capitalize more on those. But I know I was looking in the right spot. I just got my focus kind of going 2 ways on that day. Anyway, that was the trades from Friday. I did end the day green. Had to drag myself back green, but it was just like, oh, I left so much money on the table. Like a $2 move, that's $1,000 trade, bro. So I'm like, just got to be better. And that's why I went back and did a lot of back testing this weekend. Just kind of reanalyzing what I've been looking at and kind of tinkering a little bit. Anyway, on today we still got UCAR up. It's just not. It was moving bigger a little bit earlier, but just not really making a decision. It's got to either go towards the highs up here of 824 or the lows down here of 717 is a low value level. Remember that this is the volume profile. Inside of these gold level is the value area. So it's the top 70% of trades that have happened on the day. And this is really kind of consolidated in here. So either way it goes, I think it's going to be making big moves if it gets going towards either side. The volume has slowed down quite a bit though on it. So we'll watch it and see what happens. And if there are any cheaper stocks under $5, let us know, and we will definitely pop over to those as well. But UCAR, oh, I forgot to look at UCAR's news. That's what I forgot to do. UCAR, or did I look at this? Okay, yeah. UPower to launch commercial operation for its EV battery swapping system. So this is a little bit of Chinese news. We've seen these Chinese stocks go kind of crazy. If we look on the higher time frame, the monthly chart, we can see that it's just getting out of the box really, with only what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 months of trading looks like, and the looks like the IPO date went all the way up to 75 and has um, another little thing right here, high of 15, and then the body of this candle is 758. So those may be two levels to watch there. Between the 15, 20, and 758, we'll kind of have to see how it reacts around those areas. Weekly, same levels. Daily chart, looks like it got up here for the last 3 days, got up there and touched 650, and it has exploded all the way over to 772. So it's like right around 772, right above this little level that we see there. So we'll see how that goes, and facilitate as the day goes on. But let's look at this news though. So a vehicle sourcing services provider with a vision to becoming a comprehensive EV battery power solution provider in China today announced that its battery swapping and sharing model for two-wheeled and light four-wheel electric vehicles is poised for a formal commercial rollout in Wuhu, something province, China. The rollout, which is expected to take place during April 2024, allows or follows a successful round of market validations in February. As part of this expansion, UPower plans to establish 60 power swapping service points, which will cater to over 800 customers. Okay. The battery swapping and sharing technology for two-wheeled and light four-wheel EVs involves the use of identical battery cells and packaging methods. The battery packs for both types of EV are stored in a single battery swapping station. When customers need to swap batteries, they can take 1 to 2 battery modules for two-wheeled EVs and 4 to 8 modules for light four-wheeled EVs. All right, so let's see if they're talking about any kind of money. We know that this is not affecting a whole lot of people because we know China is huge. 800 customers, over 800 customers. I don't know. China is huge though. For it just to be 800 customers is kind of weird. Just an observation. But let's see, when customers need swap batteries, battery straightforward and user friendly, with the user verifying their identity at the BSS with their mobile phone and following a series of simple prompts to access and swap their batteries. Okay, so the executive says our battery swapping and sharing model for two-wheel and light four-wheel EVs has garnered an excellent response from the market since its market valuation or validation in February. Through our collaborations with global partners leading up to this innovative launch, we have gained valuable insights into metrics, including battery replacement frequency and daily vehicle mileage through our operational platform data. Okay, notably, we have observed that the average daily mileage of a vehicle utilizing battery swapping significantly surpasses that of vehicles which use traditional charging. This indicates the battery swapping model genuinely enhances the efficiency of our customers' vehicles, allowing customers to spend less time charging and more time traveling. With market validation complete, we are now more confident than ever our battery swapping and sharing system, or more confident than ever in our battery swapping and sharing system. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. I mean, 800 customers in China seems a little small. We'll see. We'll see what happens though. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Right now, it's looking like it wants to retest the top of the value level right now. It's just trading around $8. Really. Donnell says watching AUUD need a pullback. Let's go look at that one. Maybe it's more exciting. It's up 195%. Moving. This one would definitely pop on my scanners after the open. 194, and it's heading towards $5. Let's see what this thing is looking like. What's this new? What's this news over here? Okay, so AUUD. AUUD. Press releases. Come on. All right, so this one, previous news was on March 18th about 3.5 million financing coming into that. And now it's got, it announces issuance of core AI patents. So we know AI has been a buzzword all over. So this one will probably be one to watch, maybe even more than UCAR, with the way the two are going. But we'll see. We'll see. It definitely has a stronger pull with the AI word in there. Let's see. So patent identifying shifts in audio content via machine learning is the title of the patent. So basically the AI is listening to what's being played on the, well, not really listening, but analyzing what's being played on the radio, and trying to see what people are listening to, right? So identifying shifts in audio content via machine learning. Company advances its patent application for using AI prompts to interface with large language models. Okay, so listening to not only, like, I don't know if this is this a Chinese company, or I don't know what it is, but it'll be listening to multiple languages on the radio, right? And see what people are listening to. Okay, so let's look on in here. Developer patent. Although we have believed we are the leading AI space with important and patentable technology, when we began the process of training our algorithm to deliver a premium ad-free AM/FM listening experience, there is a big difference between filing a patent application and having the application approved. So that's okay, true. Issuance of this patent validates our innovation. So actually it got approval, right? Issuance, yeah, it looks like the patent got approved. So we'll see how that does during the day. Technology validates our innovation and secures our AI for audio technology as a proprietary platform we look forward to building upon to drive new innovations in support of additional industry first premium audio listening experiences. Okay, so we got two things up. We got EV batteries on UCAR, and then we have AI on AUUD. So, and Donnell says it's a reverse split company, and he also called out LGVN. So let's pop over. Let's put all these on. Let's see. LGVN, UCAR. So we got our top three pretty much that we're seeing. Um, LGVN here had a little bit of a pop up during the month, and he said there was no news on this one. So let me just see if there's any news at Nasdaq or not. I mean, with the two heavy hitting keywords out there, I don't know if LGVN, if it doesn't have any news, I don't know how it's gonna compete. Okay, it says 58 minutes ago, Longeveron, I don't know, issues letter to shareholders highlighting corporate strategy, clinical pipeline, and 2024 key priorities and goals. Okay, so it's pretty much like a plan. They pretty much put out a plan. I don't know how that's going to hold up against um AI and EV though. Dear shareholders, I am delighted to mark my first anniversary as CEO of This Word this month. It has been an extraordinary journey thus far, and I am immensely grateful for the opportunity to lead such a pioneering organization dedicated to transforming healthcare through innovations in regenerative medicine. Upon joining This Word, I set out with a clear objective to develop a strategic roadmap building on the strength of our science while acknowledging the realities of the capital market environment. This Word foundation in cutting edge cellular therapy research, coupled with the promise of This Word, positions us to profoundly impact patients' lives for the better by addressing numerous unmet medical needs in the with U.S. market potential opportunities of up to approximately 10 to 18 billion. Today, I'm excited to update you on our overall strategy, business objectives, approach to capital allocation, and 2024 key priorities and goals. Okay, so yeah, if y'all want to read this, this is all at NASDAQ. It's just a plan, so we'll see how that plan plays out. I don't know. I think AUUD or UCAR is going to be a little bit more pulling today. But we got all of them on. Oh, market already open. What in the world? I am just looking around like a little lost baby, huh? AUUD has got its ATR high and low up here now. ATR high at 444, ATR low at the 380s. Getting this for, wow, pushing right on up there to the ATR high on AUUD. UCAR is also holding above the $8, but still kind of sideways. I think AUUD is looking a lot better right now, up 200%. Up 200%. And remember, I didn't put the disclaimer up there, but remember, all of the things that you see here are just my analysis tools. I haven't touched these stocks. I haven't done anything with these stocks. Just analyzing, looking through, and making observations. Now, this thing is pushing all the way towards $5. It got up to $4.99 right there. And we'll see what it wants to do from there. UCAR did go back below $8 down to the 740. So AUUD leading the way right now. It did an ATR break. And so in the first couple minutes, when I see a break like this, I'm looking for it to break and hold for a little bit of time, right? Break and hold, and then looking for a higher move. If we look out here on the higher time frames to the monthly, we can see where's this thing at? $4.92. It had a previous level up here at the 569s that it looks like it's headed towards some kind of area here around the 6. And we'll see if it can actually hold the 5 and start moving that way. Let's see. Yeah, UCAR, that is popped all the way back now. UCAR getting flashy. Wow. Popped all the way back over 8. And it may be doing an ATR break here soon. So it is testing the ATR high at the 850. and both of them are trying to get their volume up, get their uh, relative volume. Now, AUUD already has 45 times the normal relative volume. UCard doesn't even have one time the relative volume right now. So lower relative volume probably meaning that there are less people really interested in trading it. More people over on AUUD right now. Now it's coming back and testing a hold of the 450, which is where the ATR is. Good morning, Reliable. Reliable called out LLAP will be interesting to see a 150 break. You can go look at that, LLAP. So let's look at this thing. It has definitely been grinding on up. Had a bottom down here, looks like $1 and is up now 40 cents from $1. I don't know exactly what this company does. Let's see. LLAP. Orbital Corporation common stock. 3 days ago, it showcases key programs at 2024 Space Symposium. Profile: Terran Orbital Corporation manufactures and sells satellites for aerospace and defense industries in the United States and internationally. The company offers end-to-end satellite solutions. It engages in the integrated design, manufacture, and assembly of satellites, and management, operation, and provision of information from satellites that are on orbit on behalf of its customers. Okay, so a satellite company. See how that goes. Let's jump back over to AUDD or AUUD, holding above this ATR high here. This is very bullish action. I'm thinking that it is looking the best on the day. Look at how UCAR dropped, popped all the way up there to the 850s. That ATR, very respected level, threw it back down to the ATR low here, and it's halted down. So that's why I have to wait for confirmation of the break for that true bullish action so it can go over, right? That's what I'm waiting for. LGVN also got thrown down through the trenches there, down towards the bottom. Okay, so we're focused on AUUD, still looking the best on the day, up 255%. Heading towards that area that we had marked on the higher time frame between the 567, and it just moved the value level. I can see volume coming in here. Big buyers right now. The buy sell indicator, we're seeing what, 70% on the buy side, 20 to 30% on the sell side, and we'll see how it holds up this 450. But as of now, breaking over 5 on a Monday morning. So we'll see how it holds at 5, or will it become a struggle point? Now we know over 5 prop traders like to get interested. And that goes for shorts and longs, right? So if the shorts see it at 5 and they're like, "Ooh, we can knock this down," you got to be careful and make sure it can actually hold the bullish mentality, hold the bullish momentum, because shorts are interested. If they start getting squeezed though, and it starts going up towards this level, it could be really bad for the shorts. They could be on the wrong side of the trade with it being above the ATR high. LGBN swinging back up. Wow, lot of swings in here. Lot of swings in here across the board. But we got our top 3 we're watching. If I go back over here to our scans, this is the top under $5 AUUD. The tops over $5. I see CXAI as well, cracking up. CXAI, I don't know what it's trying to do, but I know that's a stock that we've seen before. Over $5. Let me add that one. CXAI. Up 12% there. Didn't really have too much of a hot pre-market, but big run up after this ATR break here at the 511s, jumping all the way up to the 550s on CXAI. So we got 4 stocks that we're seeing right now that are doing things. but AUUV is still in the leading position when it comes to relative volume. Let me see if CXAI had, well, it might be continuation though. CXAI, let me see. CX. So let's look over here on the higher time frames. We can see we did actually, yeah, I did look at this when it was a little bit lower priced. Looks like it did get a nice little, it has been moving up nicely towards the $5 and trading within a couple of these little levels here. This is the daily chart. The ATR high on this one, based on the daily chart, is the 583 that it will need to get over to be really, really bullish. Seems like it has a pattern of testing the ATR high and then coming back down. So I would definitely keep in mind that pattern that it has. If it does break, it's going to need to hold out of this this 580 level. All right, so we'll see about all of that. AUUD coming down back down towards the 5, and $5 is starting to get more and more interesting to those nice shorts, which is good if it's going to be a squeeze, but it's bad if it's not, and it's going to just slam. All right, UCAR has not unhalted yet. CXAI still pushing up massively. I mean, at this point, if you're a long trader, you gotta wait for a pullback. This is some crazy extension based on where it started. This thing, I mean, a pullback, I don't even know where it could pull back to, but it's only up 13%. Waiting for UCAR to open on up, but it's still looking like LGVN is going to be the next one to try to test this ATR high. We'll see what it does. Kind of forming a big rickshaw man between the ATR low and high though. So very, very obvious indecision on that candle. Remember that I am looking at 15-minute candles. So if you're looking at lower time frames, yours may look a little bit different than mine. So just be conscious of what you're actually trading with, right? I take my entries on the 15-minute. So yeah. All right, AUUD coming back down. This candle will be closing in 5 minutes, this 15-minute candle, and we'll see if it can hold that 450. Now, if it comes down here and bounces and starts to show that it's respecting the ATR, I'm thinking it's going to stay a little bit bullish. Since it already tested the 5, what I would be wanting to happen is if it retests the 5, it needs to rip through and go 550 up to 6 and just stay over 5, right? But if it kind of slows down here around the 450 and drops, it's probably going to be on a downward swing, like a kind of fade. I trade UCAR did open up under the ATR low. I trade during 9 o'clock to 11. So I trade for 2 hours, and I want to see things that are happening. And well, I say things happen. The pattern that I'm looking for is the ATR break and the ATR break and hold. Those are the two patterns that I really just have. I can spot them easily, and they work for me, you know. And I just take them consistently, and I've been scaling up. I started with 300 shares, 400 shares, 500 shares, and looking to scale up even higher. Sometimes I leave money on the table, but I also like to manage my risk kind of tight, because if it's a good trade, it's gonna go. You know, if it's not, we're just gonna get stopped out, and I'm okay with that. All right. So AUUD right now, um, coming on back to that 450 level, still up 200 something percent. So I know it's on everybody's scanners. And UCAR absolutely diving. I think UCAR, I'm gonna take that one off because it's not really performing well on this morning. Actually, I'm gonna leave it on just to watch it throughout the day. But CXAI coming into 4 minutes to close this candle. It continues to push. I'm trying to see if it can push like 575 all the way up over the sevens. So there's almost 570, 567s. This thing is crazy extended. Only up 14%. All right, LGVN did come up here and break the ATR high with the last part, the last little bit of its trading. So we'll see if it can hold the 414s and start to try to go for those 450s later on in the day. And now AUUD coming back to this ATR high as well, 450. Let's get it. And you'll hear me talk about reference the ATR a lot because I use it to place my stops and also use it to see what kind of payment that I'm looking for, right? If I'm going to get 20 cents, I'm going to get 30 cents, 40 cents, $1, $2. I want to know the ATR, which is the average true range. Okay, so AUUD has 46 million shares traded on it. Plenty of people watching it. 69 times the relative volume, 7 times the relative standard deviation. So very abnormal stock, abnormal volume on the day for it. LGVN trying to make a decision to hold this 414, holding above it right now. It's got less than a minute. Can it close above that 414 to prove that it's gonna try to stay bullish? Would be the question. It has 165 times the relative volume that it normally has on LGVN though. Whole lot of people watching that one. Only 14 million shares, but based on its statistics, you know, sometimes you can compare two tickers to see what you want to trade, but based on its statistics, it's super abnormal. So getting on up here, holding above that 416 level there. And at this point, we're above the ATR high, so I'm thinking of buying dips for the continuation higher, right? So buying on red candles for continuation on green. Below is, you know, buying on green candles, hoping to God that it doesn't keep dumping, right? But up here, I'm much more confident of a bullish move than a bearish. So coming back and testing this again, we see it tapping that ATR right there, 411s, and it needs to just hold that up. Breaking down that level. Let's see if it'll need to close this candle above this ATR to prove that it's bullish. All right, back up to AUUD. Next 15-minute candle, 15-minute, this 450 needs to hold. So we'll see how much it tests down or if it wants to just continue grind higher here. But definitely separating from the ATR high, which is a good thing. Looking very bullish to go back up. The value level up here is at the 537. These gold arrows here, that's the value high, and then the value low is all the way down here to $3. So we'll see if it can move the majority of the trading volume upward, and that'll move this whole volume profile upward as well. But looking nice and bullish there. We'll see if it can continue. The high of this previous candle was 536, so it'll need to be kind of getting over that. Let's jump back over to LGVN, pulling back and holding this ATR high as well. So a lot of interesting stocks here. A lot of them. Okay. So CXAI went back under 10%. Big move back down off of that 570 all the way back down to the ATR high. And, you know, that's a whole lot of nothing. Most retail traders, day traders are looking for things that are staying over 10%. This was at 7, so in comparison to everything else that we have up here, it's just no comparison. These are up 46, 91, and 253%. So I would say AUD is, wow, it's all the way back up to the top. Had a small test downward, but usually above the ATR, you're buying when it's red, looking for the green, and trying to take profit. Okay, LGVN still struggling to hold up that. And UCAR continuing to try to touch the center of the earth, going down. So we'll take that one off. I don't even like the look of it anymore. So the top two that I'm watching, AUUD and LGVN. We've narrowed down the list a little bit more. We got some other ones popping up. EH is up 10%. That's a slower looking mover. I don't know what the news is on this one. Let me go see the news here. EH. Ehang Holdings. So last news on it was February 6th. I don't want to touch that. February 6th. What is it's like March or April, right? Nah, that's dead. And then ACB, I think we saw that one moving last week. ACB. ACB press releases. And I check all of this news on NASDAQ.com, and then I cross-reference the news between these other ones, FinViz, MarketWatch, and all of that, just to make sure that I'm seeing what everybody is seeing. I don't want to be using one source. But this one says 4 hours ago, top 4 stocks to watch in rising cannabis market, and that's their news. That's not great news. And then it says Aurora Cannabis commends Germany's landmark. Now I remember this. It did make quite a move on this Germany's landmark legalization achievement, which was okay. If you're interested in trading cannabis stock. All right, but let's jump back over to AUUD. Continue to hold that ATR high. Continue to hold that. So we'll see how this candle closes. And if it can continue to hold that 450, I'm thinking it can make another move higher if it doesn't crack down. LGVN held up, and look at this thing go crazy. Getting up to $5 and now halted upward. So we had our eyes on the top stocks. So LGVN going up there, holding that ATR high, and buyers coming in. You got to remember that $5 is a huge interest level. We have a lot of stocks at $5 right now. It's a huge interest level for prop traders. So not only can you get big moves up, you can get big moves down because shorts get interested too. Think about somebody trading a prop firm or with prop firm money. Let's say they got $1 million, $2 million or whatever, and they're interested. So they're trying to grab 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 shares in a position. And you're like, man, why is this thing snapping around like this? It's because real money is out here moving. This is real movement. But it looks like LGVN is receiving a little bit more attention now, even more than AUUD, which dropped under the $5. And I'm thinking the prop traders are going to be going towards LGVN. It is still circulating around $5, right? So they're going to be more interested in this. And we'll see if it can move the bottom value level, bottom level here, value level is all the way down to the 280s. So a huge range. Let's see if we can get some concentrated trading around the $5 is what we'll be looking for. And AUD just dumping on down, so I'm taking that one off. It failed. It's under the 5. Prop traders aren't going to be watching it, so I'm not going to be watching it. And let's watch LGVN. UCAR continue going down. VVPR. What are you doing? This is one that was traded. We saw this one trading like a week ago or something like that. It went all the way up to about $10 and it's trading around I would say the midsection, but it's a little bit higher than the midsection here on today of the previous month's or previous week's candle. And looking on the daily chart, kind of hard to see what it's trying to do. So I don't know how that one's going to do. It had kind of like a weak pre-market. But if it does move, it's going to be a continuation. But it is up 10%. I don't know if it can hold 10%. It is in the competition with these other 4, right? And this scanner that I have here is called Day Trading Criteria Met. So let's see what this one is. This one is ALCC is another one that's up, just breaking over 10. Let's go and check out these news catalysts for these and see if they have a little bit better news here. ALCC. If they don't have news, I usually just don't touch them. Especially if they haven't been in the news or been trading. It's like, nah, I'm good. Oklo signs a LOI to supply 50 megawatts of power to Diamondback Energy. Okay, so they have a 20-year power purchase agreement with Diamondback Energy. Diamondback aims to use Oklo's Aurora powerhouses to power its operations in the Permian Basin. Okay, so if you're an energy person, this is a nice, or I would say this is a nice, I'm not telling you to buy it or sell it, whatever. This is one of those energy plays that you can look into to see if it's a value for your strategy, right? Okay, so let's jump back over. Donnell's, yeah, LGVN is insane. That pop up. Think about shorts being on the wrong side of this. It's ATR high, and they're like, man, this thing's gonna go down, and they just get demolished to the upside, right? Now the ATR here is 68 cents, and the way that I use the ATR to use my stop losses is I say, okay, well I know the ATR is 68 cents. I multiply this. I'm looking to move 25% of the ATR. I'm looking to capture 100%, but I'm looking to move 25% at a time. So I say, okay, let's say that I buy the ATR break, right? Which was whatever price this is right here, 424. I'm going to take this 68 cents multiplied by 25. I'm looking for 17 cents of movement at a time, right? So I take this and add it to that 424. I say, okay, this is my next stop level that I'm going to be moving to, 444. So I would have been up here 444. If it holds 444, then I add another one. Add 17, 458. Add 17, it's holding there. Add another one until I get the whole thing, right? So you add 4 times, that means that you captured 100% of the ATR, which was 58 or 68 cents. You captured the whole move. And then you can just let it run. You can let it run above that those 4 add-ins. You captured the ATR, the average true range, and you're looking for it to just continue. If it snaps back and stops you out, at least you've captured the ATR, which is 68 cents. Now, sometimes you don't get the full thing. You may get only two of those, maybe 50 cents, but you captured half of the ATR, right? You just want to be capturing. And a lot of people, they're like, man, how do I set my stop loss? How do you? I would say just you do get your piece. If it can go higher, let it run and let it run until it stops you out. AUUD all the way back down to $4 now. Going down and just not looking great. Nobody's messing with that anymore. Everybody's focusing on LGVN. ALCC just not receiving the volume there in comparison to LGVN. L card. This is how I lost on Friday. Well, not really lost. I won, but I didn't sell at the ATR low touch. Whenever it is under the ATR, I'm thinking it's bearish momentum. I need to sell. If it touches ATR, I need to be selling because it's probably going to continue going down. Especially with all this competition on the board. LGVN popping back towards the $5 level. So any shorts that are looking to break down this $5, they were looking up here to get their entries. A lot of volume did come in on the volume profile, and now it's coming back below the value area, which was at 502, right at the $5. So shorts getting active here, and we'll see if they let it live or if they want to crunch this thing back down to the 423s. Anyway, I got about 4 minutes on the stream. Today, a lot of action at the pre-market. I don't know how much is going to be in my actual time frame between 9 to 11. Sometimes when it's super hot during this time and it's really no dips, sometimes my time frame is a little bit dead because everybody has taken these Monday morning trades. A lot of people want to start off fast, getting a cushion. If they're looking at the right stocks, they can get a pretty good big cushion if they're trading the right stocks, right? This thing popped up from 421 all the way up to 540. So that's a nice little dollar move for me. I like to get dollar moves as well. Sometimes I trade higher price stocks to get five or to get dollar, $2, $3, $4 moves. But I'm only trading in the small caps, so I really don't trade mid or large caps or anything like that. I don't. They just get too choppy during the day. I like people. You can't win without people. I like their emotional responses to things, right? And then UCAR doing exactly what I said, touch this ATR high or ATR low, and it's pumping on down on that downward momentum. Okay, so we had those fade off. ALCC had a little pop out there, but on lower volume, only a million shares traded. That would have been a gamble if you did take that trade. We got another one popping up, MODN, looking trash. I wouldn't touch that with a 50-foot pole. Okay, so yeah, LGVN looking like it's poofing out the last piece of its certainty. And I usually trade above $5, so it's definitely these things got to hold the five. And nothing above five is looking good, and nothing below five looks like it wants to actually hold five. So, you know, but to me, it's still above the ATR high. So I'm thinking it's still bullish momentum until it's not. You trust it until you can't anymore. Once it breaks down the ATR, then it's like, okay, trust is gone. But as long as it's up here, I'm thinking it's bullish. It can continue doing things. All right, so that we got 1 minute. I got to get on out of here and get to my morning meetings. Appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Definitely, if you enjoy, you can hit the like button. Sometimes I forget to say this, and sometimes I just I'm in a rush and I just got to get out of here. But I was already up working anyway, doing some stuff this morning. But yeah, if you're gonna continue trading, keep your head on a swivel. Stay safe out here. Know or have a strategy that has some dependable levels. For me, I found that the ATR works very well for me in the small caps, but I have to get those other variables to really make it work. When I do, I'm thinking when I do start shorting, like stocks like this will be stocks that I will be looking for, things that are, struggling to get over five, things that prop traders are going in on. These are the ones that I'm looking to be like, okay, this is some good short potential here. But in the same vein, I know that up here it's bullish. You're really taking a risk up here. If this thing starts to squeeze, get over five and go on up to like six, you're really gonna get your shoes taken off. But anyway, that is it for me today. Appreciate you guys for tuning in all over Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, everybody else, Kick. We're just getting out here being safe in the market, not getting our shoes blown off and managing risk. So that is it for today. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.